And just like that, good to see you, everybody. I hope we got working music because I've been tripping trying to get that set up just right. I hope everybody had an awesome week. We've had a pretty good week over here on the assassin side. Have you? Well, if you haven't, strap in. We're going to talk about the end of the quarter, what that means, why it's important, blah, blah, blah. But first, let's jump over to the stream, shall we? If you have not done so, welcome. By the way, if you have not done so, please go hit the like button. All right, while you're there, subscribe. And hit the notification bell. Don't miss out, folks. We don't want you to miss anything here. We want you to see everything that we do. The more you show up, the more YouTube helps us out with that algorithm. When you hit the like button and you hit the share button and all that good stuff, and you send this out to your social media and show the whole world what we do, we appreciate you all being here. About the background jazz is playing like it's supposed to. If you guys would do me a solid, you see the Tar Heel stuff, you seen the shirt on that I had underneath that, right? All right. Tar Heel hats everywhere. You guys know the deal. Please keep me updated on what the score is over there in the chat box. That would be awesome if you did that. I would super appreciate it, right? Because I'm missing literal my team. You know what? I say this a lot. You're allowed to get emotional about sports, okay? You guys don't quite understand why it means as much as it means to me, but for what it's worth, my sports teams kind of saved my life. It's hard to explain, but that's how it worked. So if you guys would just keep me updated, I would super appreciate it because I'm missing my team for this, all right? So first things first, why is quarterly important? Well, in case you guys didn't know how it works in the corporate world, most of the time they report earnings every quarter, all right? Taxes are typically done around the March area, which is the end of the first quarter. Hey, guess what, folks? It's the end of March right now. Now, that means one of two things. Either they sell off a bunch in an effort to slim down that balance sheet to pay less taxes, which happens sometimes, or they continuously buy more, knowing good and well they don't want to get in the pickle of trying to sell it and miss out. Currently, we see a lot of charts shooting straight up in the air or consolidating sideways, not failing. And that important aspect kind of leads us into what we see on all the other charts. So I've got Bitcoin CME pulled up right here, okay? Why is this important? Why is this important? Well, Bitcoin CME is Bitcoin's CME futures chart. The CME futures chart is only open from Sunday night till Friday evening. And for this week, because it's the end of the quarter and it's Easter weekend, that means it's a bank holiday tomorrow. And then Saturday and Sunday are already off. So technically, this is the end of the month tonight. What's excellent about this? If we look at the 3-month chart, which is quarterly, there's 4 quarters in a year, every 3 months, right? I got the fibs pulled up on this because I don't want to take them off. More so what I want you to see is, here is our previous high on our CME chart, 69,250, right? You guys remember that from last bull market. 69,250 was the high on the CME chart. Cool. If you look right now, we are currently above that high. We are above that high. And I know that's an ugly squiggly line, but that's because I'm on a 3-month chart and it's getting really wonky trying to fit the size correctly. Thing here is, closing up here is excellent. It does not necessarily mean we go straight up in the air after this. What it does tell me was this was an incredibly bullish 6 months. As you see, that's 2 3-month candles. It was an incredibly bullish 6 months. At a certain point, we're going to have to cool off here. Yeah. Indicators are useless because they're already all kind of wonky anyway. As long as this thing is trending up, I got to leave it alone. And as you see, we're very much trending up. There's a good possibility that we still pull back some here and get a back test on the new quarterly candle that happens on Sunday night, Monday morning. All right. What I want you to know about that is, look at every single candle. They all have a wick on the bottom. Tiny or not, they all have a wick. This new candle forming will likely create a wick. Where? you could make a solid argument that that's going to happen on top of the previous all-time high of around 69,250-ish. Argue about what the exact number is. That's pointless to me. I don't really care. No big deal. I don't care. More so what I'm worried about is back testing support and keeping on going. And now that we've made a new all-time high and closed above that all-time high for the end of the quarter, that's a big deal. That sets a new floor moving forward. Now, some interesting stuff that we were talking about in the Discord. Nick brought this up. Papa Nick Fresh, one of our admins, brought this up in the Discord. Really neat is the fact that between 18 days and 80 days, I know that's a bit of an odd number there, but between 18 and 80, that's usually the time that price doubles for Bitcoin after it breaks all-time high. We've now broken all-time high and closed above all-time high. All right, so for what it's worth, there's a solid possibility we double the price in the next 80 days. When I say at least 80 days, that's the longest it's ever taken. It's usually around 20 to 40 days, or basically a month for this thing to double in price. Now, that could change. I just thought it was interesting because we talked about it over the Discord a good bit, and then we started charting it, trying to come up with a scenario where that would make sense. It's kind of hard to find the right scenario because while halving hasn't really swung more than a week or two, you could argue that we're ahead of schedule some, yeah? And I would understand that argument and not argue too much with you. I'm happy with this. I want it to continue doing so. Again, quarterly charts are crucial. Quarterly charts are what every major corporation bases their balance sheets on, okay? It's very important to follow them. So I'm not going to forget about this. In the likely scenario that we do complete that double and go double in the price, well, roughly 68,000, that's roughly 134,000. That's roughly the 1414 fib up here on the extensions. Now, I got this 105 box a little darker on purpose here. The reason I did that is if I flip to linear, and I don't like to be the guy who just dismisses everything, the places for linear charts exist. All right. I just prefer log mode because with crypto, it's so volatile that the charts get skewed very, very hard. And I don't want that to happen and us miss stuff. So I'm going to keep them in log mode most of the time, but I do want to flip to linear mode here so you can see the difference. So this is log, and it shows about 105, 130, and 175 roughly on the extensions, right? If I flip that to linear mode, that changes. All right. At 1618, we're at about 100,000. And the reason I think that's important is because I think we can all agree that when it's only a matter of time, but I think we can all agree that Bitcoin will get to that $100,000 level. And I think we can all agree it's not just going to blow right through it. That's an extreme psychological level. That's 6 figures. And I don't care who you are or where you're from. Some people are going to want to sell at 6 figures because that's a big number. Yeah. I mean, I think we can all kind of make that basic assumption. Yeah. I'll be watching that $100,000 level very closely because there's a possibility that's where we slow down. And I think that happens by the end of the year. I think it's possible to happen by the end of the year. Things have progressed rapidly, right? I think we can give some credence to the fact that ETFs came out and a lot of fresh retail money that wasn't there before came into it. It's a whole separate sector of what goes on behind what we do. We've been in this way before that, so we know that there's a whole nother separate sector of retail that uses Coinbase and Uphold and Kraken and whoever else, Binance US, whichever one you like. They're a whole separate segment, and they drove that to $3 trillion last time without any help from any ETFs, right? I think we can all agree it's probably going to go farther than that, right? So 100,000 is just our first psychological level. We've already breached all-time high twice in the last couple of weeks. Now we've closed above it. Next stop, hey folks, $100,000. And I know that sounds insane. And for what it's worth, it is. It is. It's not going to happen immediately, but it will eventually get to 100,000. And again, I think that happens by the end of the year. CME charts, quarterly, very important. Let me go say hey to everybody. Shall we? And we shall. Sorry, that was a long opening monologue, but I wanted everyone to be focused on these quarterly charts, right? The thumbnails are never clickbait here. The thumbnails are always pertinent to what we're talking about, okay? I don't do clickbait. What's up, Kev? What's up, Mullet? What's up, Jeremy Cousin, Bill Childers, Electric Ken, Ariana, good to see you, ma'am. Coleman, what's up, brother? Talk to you over in Discord. and I'll talk to you more about it later too. What's up, Colo, Educated Dummy? What's up, John? Crypto Profits, good to see you, bro. Distinctive Shot, how are you? Slutty Roo, good evening, ma'am. Oculus Vision, good evening, ma'am. Good to see you, ladies. Brian Dubs, what's up? Ryan Coburn, what's up? Crypto, my cousin said, Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred, Tar Heel when I die, Tar Heel when I'm dead. No wonder, no matter, Tar Heels first. All right. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. Dick Arellano. Cannon Pro, what's up? Cody Kensel, Build Shoulders. Cycling Cotton, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Miss Kelly Slade, how are you, ma'am? Guillermo, what's up, brother? Good to see you. You still out in San Fran? She said, I'm hanging in there. Cheese in the weeds, bro. John dropped a 20 piece. Red Stuff, good to see you, Red Stuff. That Nick guy don't know shit, Nick said. See what I'm saying? He don't know nothing. And we always bust Nick's balls because he's Nick from Buffalo and we're allowed to do that. John hit us with a 20 spot. You know what that means? Over to the drink containers. And we shall. What's the score? Someone tell me. All right. I'm making myself a little mixer here because I got this Ron Cologne Rock and Rum Rye. And I like it a little bit better mixed than I do straight. And most of the time I drink everything straight. I think you guys know that. Yeah. Bonk. There we go. Here we go. Ron Cologne Rum Rye 50-50. It's spicy, but it's good. It really is. It's spicy, but good. Tar Heel's starting off a little slow in the half. I figured that might happen because they were blazing hot there to start the game and kind of maintained it. RJ Davis a little short on his shots. A lot of pressure. I'm under Baycott playing hard. I got it playing over here. I can't really see it unless I lean back and stuff, and I don't want to do that. I'm kind of trying to concentrate. Shout out to John. Thank you, brother. Let's have a drink. Oh, man, that's good. Let's go. Cheers, everybody. Rock and roll. Straight no diddy. Thank you, Slutty Boo. You get it. No diddy. All right. So that was Bitcoin Ethereum. Bitcoin CME. Let's switch over to Ethereum CME. And you'll see that the situation is slightly different here. Move some of these. All right. Let me pull. I got extra stuff on the chart here. I can kind of eliminate some of this stuff here. All right. Kind of see here where our all-time high on Ethereum was right around 5,000, 49.25, 49.30, I think. CME might be a little different because it closes on the weekends, right? But the CME all-time high was around 49.25. You see, we're stuck dead in Sniper's Alley. How do we get our name, folks? Why are we the 786 Assassins? This is why, right here. 786 to 886 Fibonacci levels. And as you see, Ethereum didn't quite push through like Bitcoin did. Now, the question becomes, does Bitcoin do what, does Ethereum do what Bitcoin did? I think it's a matter of time. Yeah, I think we can all agree. Ethereum's going to break all-time high. Probably going to run to the extensions. Probably going to run farther than that. We'll see. For now, she's sitting in Sniper's Alley. And that's going to last for a little bit, but I think it eventually catches up. The next question is it worth it to put it in Ethereum? Or put it into Bitcoin, seeing as how Bitcoin is the ETF. Bitcoin is the one out front in front of everyone. Again, if you go out on the street and you ask someone about crypto, they're going to say Bitcoin or whatever. They're not going to name Cardano or Binance Coin or anything else. They're going to go straight to Bitcoin. They might name Ethereum and they might say XRP, but I doubt it. They're probably just going to go straight to Bitcoin. You can't bypass that. You've got to acknowledge that. All right. And I'm no Bitcoin maxi. You guys in the Discord know I barely have any Bitcoin, mostly in altcoins. Right? Doing that on purpose. I think there's more gains in altcoins, even though Bitcoin will be out front. I would rather ride the alts than ride Bitcoin. For me, everybody's strategy is a little different. Okay. Good to see you, King of Light. Good to see you, brother. If you're not in the Discord, better get in soon because the Discord closes in 2.5 weeks. Already back in Mexico. Okay, Guillermo, I see you, bro. Baycott just picked up his third. I thought I heard that, but I wasn't sure. What's up, XRP Cop? AGIX, please, bouncing off the all-time high. Okay. Parker says, have a drink and what's up, assassins? Make sure you hit like. Damn it, I've missed so much, but I'm back. Good to see you, brother. Solana. All right, so keep this one in mind too. Ethereum will be closed for the rest of the weekend, just like Bitcoin will. All right, Ethereum CME will be closed for the rest of the weekend. I'd like to see this thing maintain 3,500. If it can maintain 3,500, we got a higher ceiling moving forward and likely break through the sniper's alley and get through all-time high. All right, that could happen next quarter, second quarter, which is April, May, June, right? I think toward the end of the quarter, we'll get a little action here. I don't think it's going to be at the first of the quarter. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. I'm leaning toward May and June, though. All right, I've talked about that before. I'm kind of leaning toward May and June. One step at a time, Bitcoin will continue to be out front. Let's look at total market cap, which is everything put together. Oh, I hit buttons and didn't mean to. My fault. Tie game. One more drink. Hey, bro, let's go. El Dono. That's a big drink, too. It's good stuff. Like I said, it's just a little spicy. And honestly, I think it's a better mixer than a sipper. Just something different. Total market cap. And if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. I'm glad you're here. Listen, you're not going to get BS from me. I'm always going to shoot it straight. And I don't care about the developers. I don't care about your degen bullshit. I don't care about your favorite coin. It's pure TA, pure charts. Everything else is noise and secondary. We don't focus on the noise and secondary. We focus on the data, and that's the chart. Everything else, secondary to the chart. Total market cap, better off than Ethereum. Yeah, you saw Ethereum was in between Sniper's Alley, and total market cap at 2.55 trillion is slightly above Sniper's Alley. Not bad. Again, I'm okay with this thing coming all the way back down to test 2.2 trillion, which is $300 billion out. I'm okay with that. As long as it stays above this level, it can wick and bounce. That's fine. As long as it stays above that level, titties. Not as high as Bitcoin, as you can see. Everything else is following Bitcoin. Simple as that. Bitcoin dominance. Oh, by the way, total market cap. Total market cap. I think 4 trillion, because I'm going to do the same thing I did with Bitcoin here on the quarterly. I'll flip this to linear. 1618, 4.4 trillion. Log mode, 4.4 trillion is 1272. So up here, no matter what, for total market cap. If that happens for Bitcoin, what does everything else do? Is it just Bitcoin that does that? And if you do the math, it's not just Bitcoin, it's everything following. Again, that makes me think we don't get our real alt season until the end of the year, starting in 2025. All right, we just don't get that big alt season until then. I just don't see it any other way. Everything will follow Bitcoin. There will be exceptions. There will be coins that go up here and up there, and hey, that's fine. But you're talking about a handful of exceptions. To think that yours is special because of, oh, I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Don't matter to me. Don't matter to me. I'm only here for the charts. I'm happy about total market cap. I want to see it improve. I want to see everything catch up to Bitcoin. But again, 2025 is likely when that happens. And there's Bitcoin dominance to talk about on top of that. Here's Bitcoin dominance, still hanging out over the 50 fib, quarterly still going. This one keeps going until Sunday night. All right, Sunday night, a new quarterly chart pops up. So it's got to stay above 53.5%. Right now, it's at 54%. Above that, and Bitcoin dominance can take a stab at this 618 upward fib right here. Why is that important? Because that's exactly what it did back at the last halving, a 618 upward retrace before everything else started to catch up. All right, you see that? 618 retrace, and then it rolled back one more chance and then dropped. I expect we see the same thing here. I expect we take a stab at 1618 here, and I can put it in linear mode, and you'll see it's 60% in linear, 57% in log, so call it 57 to 60%. Fair enough? Anywhere in there, 57 to 60, that's where I think Bitcoin loses some of its grip temporarily. It could spike up and keep going, but I doubt it. I think we get a swinger down there and then a run back up one more time and a test of the trend line somewhere over here. You can see I kind of drew it out here because I'm unsure of how this is going to play out exactly. Watching closely is all. Bitcoin dominance until it breaks this white line. She's good to go. And I'll drop down to the weekly so you can see it a little better. There's the trend line. And you see I drew this thinking maybe it would fail this 50 fib, and it just simply hasn't. It keeps going. I think maybe now we'll take a shot at this 1618. We'll see. It's kind of making a flat top right here, having a hard time getting through that level, and I acknowledge that. So once this white line breaks, we'll see alts get a little bit of a breather and some energy as money shifts into those. Or we see everything retrace all at one time. There's no in between here. After that, that's our summer. That's when I'm expecting things to really start jumping again. Late May through August, I'm expecting some action in there. All right, for real. And then after that, maybe a slow September, maybe a slow October. We'll see. But that November and December, I think are going to be popping again. I think we're going to make a run toward the end of the year when you see all the altcoins and Bitcoin get their first move, their first big aggressive move. All right. Not there yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. One step at a time, please. All right. So that's Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's all we've talked about. And I showed you multiple different steps and multiple different forms of that here. I think that's important to know. All right. Everything we talked about was pertinent to Bitcoin and Ethereum mostly. Now we can shift over to some of the altcoins. All right. Cody said 59 all, cold as hell second, but once RJ gets going, watch out. Yeah, he's had an off game. He's had an off game. And they're still in it, which is atypical. Usually when he's off, they're done. And for what it's worth, Bama has a lot of good guards. What you'll notice about the Alabama guards is they're left-handed. So you're going to see them constantly run that pick and roll on the left side of the goal, and they're rolling in toward the goal because they're left-handed. That's their hot side. They're going to move to that side. They're going to move toward the center of the goal now. I'm sure we'll see it continue to happen, but it's either that layups that they go for or the lob over top. They've tried that lob 3 times. They haven't got it. Those guards are quick and they're left-handed, so they're going to do that same move over and over again. When they don't get it, they kick it out for a 3. That's their whole offense. That's it. That same pick and roll off the block around to the center. Lob's there, throw the lob. If it's not, take the layup. If the layup's not there, kick it out to the corner for the 3. That's over and over and over. Basketball has analytics too. Pressure does funny things to people. Yeah, that's right. And the thing is, RJ Davis is a 4th-year senior. He's probably going to come back for a 5th year. He's just off on this game. I mean, he's had 40 points in a couple games and stuff. It's just part of the game. You're not going to make them all always. So let's shift over to some of the altcoins. Solana was mentioned, and I was already going to talk about it on the live stream. So you saw Bitcoin. You saw Ethereum. You saw total market cap. Ethereum was in Sniper's Alley. Total market cap was slightly above it. Bitcoin was above all-time high. Then you've got a few of these, like Solana, that are above Sniper's Alley. Sniper's Alley was at $123 to $175. We're above that and testing the top of it. That's just beautiful. I'm cool with leaving this alone. Come on. I'm cool with just leaving this alone. It's pretty obvious that Solana is going to take a stab at all-time high here at some point. I'm thinking that happens in a couple weeks to a month. It's kind of building up some pressure right now. And for what it's worth, a lot of these indicators are way overbought, and they should slip up and come down some. That being said, I thought that's going to happen for the last 3 months, and it hasn't happened yet. All we've got is tiny little down with more up. Tiny little down with more up. And if that's not high time frame bullish behavior, I don't know what is. So, got to leave Solana alone here too. As long as it stays above 175, she's perfectly fine. And I'm going to leave it alone. Honestly, Solana is my profit dump. When I make profits on a coin and I want to flip it into something else, I throw her over into Solana. Or I throw her over into the AGIX, which we'll talk about next. Oh, by the way, Solana, I got her running way up here toward 1,000 at some point. If I flip it to linear mode, you're going to see a lot different looks than you saw with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why? Because these charts are way more volatile on altcoins. And I think there's a little less stability here on linear mode. 329, 365, 417. If I flip it over to log, you have none of those numbers, not even close. So pushed a little bit here. So I'm going to say 500 for the end of the year would be an excellent number. That's a long way up. I understand that. there's a chance it gets there by the end of the year. And if it doesn't get there by the end of the year, I do think it'll get there by the end of the bull market, at least 600. We'll see. I think that's where Solana goes, at least. And if that's the case, bro, I'm fine. I bought in at $129. It's cool. I'll leave it be. Again, this is my profit dump. When I make some money on a coin, I stick it over in Solana or AVAX. And here's AVAX. Now, this one isn't as far ahead as Solana, right? You see it's still in the golden pocket here, which is 7.1, 6.8, and 6.18 fibs over here, okay? This is my actual chart with all my actual buys and sells on it, everybody. Hey, Keith doesn't bullshit you and lie. I'm telling you 100% straight exactly how I do this every single time. Go find other influencers that do that. All right, so as long as she's in the golden pocket, I'm okay. And I think those that are above the 50 fib, like this one is, see, there's the 50 fib, and we're well above that. Those that are above the 50 fib now have a higher chance of breaking all-time high and getting to the extensions than the other ones do. Why is that? Well, they have a higher floor and by so a higher ceiling. All right. Those that are way lagging and way behind, they're likely not going to break all-time high. They're likely not going to get up to Sniper's Alley. We'll see about that, in fact, one step at a time. Good news, again, it's in Sniper's, it's in Golden Pocket here. It's making a higher high. It could make a higher low back to around $50, and I'm okay with that, as long as she sweeps right back up and heads back toward that $80 mark at Sniper's Alley, which I think is only a matter of time. Now, I think she does break all-time high. I do. And linear mode, that's 184, 200, 231. In log mode, that's 316, 473, 843. Do the math on the market cap. Things get wonky that high. I know. I understand. Things get wonky that high, but there's a possibility that happens. So keep it in your mind while you're doing this, okay? This brings me into, hold up. Sorry. Let's see. We're in cricket commentary, bro. What about cricket, dude? You throw a ball into some sticks. You can hit the ball in all directions, and they play for literal ever in one inning, which is not even an inning, whatever they call it in cricket. I'm just going to get them turned up. Bama losing composure. Oh, okay. I'm good. So this segues me into, I've been waiting on this chart. Listen, I've been waiting on this chart for weeks. And finally, over the last couple of days, she started to move. That's Velo, V-E-L-O. Not Velodrome. That's a separate coin. It's also doing well, but this is Velo. Pink V. I get it. Pink V is the symbol, the logo. This recently broke trend and recently bounced off the 236. Finally. All right. Been waiting on this and waiting on this and waiting on this. All right. Couldn't do anything about it. But the reason I got into this one was because of the incredible upside here. I bought this way down here at 0023, down here at the green line. Fair enough. That's where I bought it. Why did I buy it there? Because it was sitting on support and held it, and it was a good buy when it flipped over the 821 EMA and the 50-day moving average, just like I talk about all the time on here, okay? What's happened now is I've managed to take some profits from other coins and throw the money in over here also, and that was just a couple days ago. And in the last couple of days, she's up over 50%. I think it's likely she keeps going up here more. It's in 786 right now on the short term. I'll pull the fib right here for you so you can see it's in Sniper's Alley. Short term. See that right there? You're running up. You're hitting the Sniper's Alley on the short term. That's about 0.009 to 1 cent flat. Psychological. Just like Bitcoin 100,000. You got a psychological level here of 1 cent. Sounds stupid, but that's the way this works, okay? I'm not sure we can blow through this. Not sure that happens. But I do know this is going to play a little bit of hardball. A little bit of hardball here is okay. And I want to show you why this is important to me. So I'm going to do a side-by-side of two other charts that look like this one. So 3 charts on the screen, same time. You don't see me do this a lot. And the reason I don't do this a lot is because you guys know how I feel about fractals. What I want you to see is the price action, not the fractals, okay? I just want you to follow what's happening on the screen here, right? On the left, I've been in all 3 of these So don't whine. On the left, Velo. We just talked about it. In the center is Demetra, DMTR. On the right, Credi, CREDI. All three of these are on KuCoin. All three of them I bought. All three of them had a similar look. You've seen the early 2023 push, the rollback, and the start back up. Early 2023 push, the rollback, and the start back up. What I want to highlight here is Demetra and Credi on the right over here both did this around 382. See that? 382 right there and 382 right here. Fair enough. That didn't happen on Demetra. That didn't happen on Velo. Velo did it around 236 down here. This makes me think that Velo only goes up to the 50 fib right now instead of going up to the golden pocket, which I have highlighted like Demetra did and Credi did. See that? They both hit that golden pocket perfectly. That's why I have it in yellow, golden pocket. I don't think Velo goes this high this fast. All right. And the reason is, like I said, it consolidated lower instead of just blowing through levels. It kind of did it slower and lower. I think there's a possibility that Demetra and Credi get up to that sniper's alley by the end of the year. I don't think Velo will do that by the end of the year. I think the possibility is for Velo to get to the 50 fib by the end of the year, which means next year it might not get all the way up to 786. It might only get to the golden pocket and stop. The lower the floor is on these, the lower the highs could be. All right. And the higher the floors, the higher the highs. That's how uptrends work. And as you can see, Demetra and Credi both ran out front. Both are now above the 50 fibs. Like I just told you on AVAX and Solana, if you're above the 50 fib, you stand a better chance of breaking all-time high than those that are below the 50 fib, like Velo. Now, Velo still has great upside, and that's the reason that I got into it, because even the upside from here to the 50 fib was high. And that was good enough for me to say, okay, because the upside was good, I'll get into it. All right. I've already taken profits on Demetra. I've already taken profits on Credi. I've already rolled those over into something else. I still have some money in all of them. Now they're free rollers. 2 or 3 are free rollers. Demetra and Credi are free rolling. And Velo, I could take profits and be free rolling right now. I think I'm going to leave it alone for the time being. This fresh breakout has me thinking I should probably leave it well enough alone and not go tinker. You may ask yourself, how did you know? How did you know about this stuff? Well, good thing you asked, because we have an amazing Discord full of awesome people. WAP.com/Team786. Our Discord closes to new people in just over 2 weeks. If you're not there, the door's shut and you're not getting in. That's all there is to it, okay? You only get in if there's an open spot or we open the place, because we may not even open it back up. Whoever's in here may be all that's in here. We've been talking about Velo since the beginning of 2023. The beginning of 2023. Now, I didn't buy it then. I bought other stuff. I ended up buying it end of 2023 for just a little bit more than it was at the beginning of 2023, but still pretty low. Nonetheless, you can be a part of this. We all share our info together in our Discord. I share every single buy and sell I do. I have a spreadsheet with everything that I own in the spreadsheet. It's messy, but it's true. It's all real. I share screenshots of my portfolios so everyone can believe it. I have nothing to hide, and we try to do things a little different in our world. So if you feel so, you get a free month as well. 1 free month. Why not try it? Because the door's shut in a month. You better get in while you can. Thank you. That's my little sales pitch, and that's all I've got, okay? Back to the charts. Hey, let's go. 9-1 Carolina run. Okay. All right. Yay, Velo. I know, right? Opalara. I'm Opalara. I'm here for it, brother. I'm here for it over in Queensland. Let's look at a couple more. All right. A couple people asked about some, and I missed on what they said. If you guys would let me know which ones you guys asked. AGIX, that was asked for. I don't do a lot of requests, but I'll be honest, dude. I'm on a little bit of a high tonight. I'm happy about my heels. I'm happy that I made good money on Velo, dude. It's been a good couple days. The magic of being well diversified, like I've done, and I told everyone I was going to do, and then I actually executed it and did it. Every day something's green. Even when all things are red and everything looks hopeless, a couple charts are green. It's just awesome, dude. It really is. It feels good to know that even when things are going bad, I got a couple that are green. That's been a real, I'm not going to say emotional support thing. It's more like, it's been a good morale boost. I think that's a better way to say it. For me, it's like, it's kind of boosted my morale that some of these things have held up so well. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. We had 93 people on, 53 people have hit like. The more of you hit like, the more everyone will see this from YouTube's, and YouTube will send it around so everyone can watch. All right, anyway, here's AGIX. AGIX is well above all-time high. See that right there? And now it's trying to make another new all-time high above price discovery. So if we pull a fib from 2021, the end of the bull market, 2021, and we pull this out till the end of 2025, which is likely when the bull market's over. It looks, look, I mean, I was just talking about how Solana and AVAX would get up to this level, how Bitcoin would get up to this level. Remember that when I said Bitcoin would hit 100,000? That's the level that AGIX is at right now. It's double tapped it on the weekly. It may be kind of hitting the pause button for a moment, but this thing's had a heck of a run. You don't have any sell signals other than the fact that it appears to be sweeping the high a little bit and could roll back and retrace. But I think that might be short term because you don't have anything here saying sell. It's still above every moving average, aside from the indicators down here on the bottom being a little high. And the MACD just turned up. RSI is not overbought. I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking profits sometimes, but this one's still kicking ass and taking names. People will like to blame this on recent news. Where was that recent news when it was 4 cent and broke into an uptrend and hasn't stopped since? Right? This is why I don't care about the news and I just stick with the data, because the news lies. In case you didn't know, everybody, the news lies. I don't think I have to explain that to you. You can just go watch it anytime and see the lies being tossed around like it's nothing. This one has a lot of upside. I think it does get to $4 in time. Maybe not right now, in time. HBAR. All right, so HBAR is another victim of being a lagger. Just like all the ISO coins, HBAR lags just like the rest of them, okay? I actually took profits on HBAR, knowing good and well this was going to happen. So, stuck under the 50 fib. Uh-oh. Something happened and I missed it. So under the 50 fib, I want to see it stay above. As you can see, it's stuck in range between the 50 and the 382. And until it breaks above that 50, I'm inclined to think it's going to lag out for a while. Once it gets above that level, I do expect the golden pocket here to play a little bit of hardball. Roughly 20 cents is where resistance is back here. You see that? It's going to run into that at some point and slow down like a speed bump. That might not be it for the bull market, but that does probably end up being a speed bump here. That leads me into other ISO tokens. Let me talk a moment. Let me just talk a moment about the greatest digital asset ever created, XRP. And you guys know I'm joking when I say that. It is nothing special. It is just another crypto. For anyone who believes that the government or any government is just going to give all their money to a private sector company and let them move it all, I need you to rethink your priorities, and I need you to think about what you would do if you had all the money. Would you hire some private company to move all your money for you? Likely not. UNC just made a 3. Anyway, we're stuck under this trend here, and I think it's fairly obvious. And I love the fact that I segued an XRP bit by throwing a Tario thing in there, which is awesome. Still stuck under the trend, and I think we're working our way over into this buy zone, which happens after April, before July. So that's the end of May into June. I think that's the prime time here for XRP. This is a weekly chart. And the reason I say that is, if you look back here into 2020, much the same. You were under the trend line until halving. It kind of went sideways and jogged a little bit till it got to about 60 days after halving, about 2 months after halving. Then she popped up, right? Roughly a month after halving, you had a low though, and you could have bought anywhere within a month to 2 months after halving, and that'd have been primo. Similar story here in 2016. Under the trend, kind of going sideways, roughly a month and a half after halving. Then she popped up. Now, it did make a low over here, but it rode on the good side of the trend line, which was great. There's way more cryptos now, so I don't expect this thing to do exactly like 2016. Don't be silly. All right. The more so I'm looking for is finding the low here and buying the low and kind of leaving it alone until we run our run out. This halfway done mark is also important. As you see, that was a high point, halfway done through the bull run there. And I mean that halfway done by the amount of days we had in the bull market and when Bitcoin said enough. Similar story over here in 2020. Halfway up, you see we retraced right around the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021. That's why I'm saying that happens pretty much across the board for everything. And XRP will be no different. And again, it had some more juice in it after that halfway point. You know what I mean? But eventually she tapered off. Here we are again, under the trend line, same amount of time, same chart look, halfway done at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. You got to see this and know this is coming, okay? 75 cents going to play hardball here. It's not just going to blow through that. It's probably going to hit it and fall. And after that, make a push up past that toward $1 to $1.25. I like $1.50 potentially by the end of the year. I'd like to see it higher than that, but I want to keep my expectations a little bit low here because you guys know how you XRP people are. You get your expectations all high and it never happens. All right. Taper those expectations. That way you're not disappointed if it doesn't work out. I want this year and next year to be the times that you actually make money on your crypto and not just talk about how much money you're going to make, but actually make some money. All right. You haven't done that before. And I know I'm speaking to most of you XRP people right now. I know you haven't actually made any money on this stuff. Most of you haven't. Most of you refuse to sell and you think you have golds. You think you have Jesus gold and that's going to make you a bunch of money. Eventually you'll grow up and realize that's not the case. All right. That all these have a chart and all these follow them. As I'm charting this, hopefully you start to see that, well, if he's charting and it's coming true, how come I'm still doing what I'm doing, thinking it's just magically going to go up? Hasn't happened in 8 years. You magically think it's going to start now? No, there is no switch. There is nobody flipping the switch. That's not how it works. All right. Turn off YouTube, turn off Twitter. You're getting lied to. I like it though for the rest of the year, just not right now. Okay. It's important to understand that. All right, hang on. Tie game. This is tense, bro. Let me get a talk break here. No, that white dude can play. Come on. You guys can hang on a second. I'm a nervous wreck over here because I can't watch my heels, man. It's only 4 minutes left, dude. This is crazy. That's a foul. That was a foul. They didn't call it. No, this is tense. I might end up ending the stream a little early and watching that. Oh, you're in Florida, Mullet? Where at? Come on. No way. Dude just dropped a 3. Oh, my God. Dude, that might do it. God dang it, dude. That sucks, bro. Dang it. Anyway, back to the charts. It's timeout. They're down by 5. SOB. It's all right. Alabama hasn't had a good team in a really long time. I don't hate it if they win, but I don't ever want to see my heels lose. ICP is a recent one that had some pretty good price action in the last couple of days. So we've broken above this 50 fib, which is what I've been talking about. All right. Getting above the 50 fib, you stand a better chance of attacking that previous all-time high of 2021 high. Now, I pulled these fibs different from where I had them. I had them up to all-time high, and I can pull them back there. And what you would see was all-time high to where we are now, $23 is a key level. If I start in 2021 and pull these fibs like I did the rest of them, you see that $23 is also a heavy level, but it's the 618 fib now instead of the 382 on a big time frame. As you see, it kind of peaked up there. Didn't quite get there yet. I think it might save it for next week. I wanted to see it do it this week. It's going to come up short, right? The last couple of days, it slowed down some. I was really hopeful this thing would keep going. It didn't make it. And that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Little steps here, baby steps. I do think eventually it's going to work its way up here to Sniper's Alley and potentially take that run at 80, and then we'll see from there, okay? Like to see that by the end of the year. If that happens by the end of the year, oh man, that's so good, dude. Because I bought this, as you can see, flat dead on the bottom. Sold it, rebought it, tried my best to flip it. I think I actually lost a couple $100 trying to flip it. It never really fell like I thought it would. It just kind of zoned out here sideways. I owned that, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to lose any more money on this. 100 or 200 bucks is all I'm willing to lose. So I got all my money back in, and since then, up she goes. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted to see. 4 hour incoming is the 1 hour creating higher highs and higher lows for UTC 6 o'clock, which is London. Thought we lost him for a little theory. No problem, I'm watching. St. Augustine's beautiful mullet. I stayed at the La Fiesta bed and breakfast, which is just on the other side of the bridge when you take the turn out to the, like that little island. I guess that's what that is. Kind of like an Outer Banks, little mini Outer Banks. There's a bed and breakfast that's right there. It's very small. It's private, like for couples only or adults only. Oh man, it's c'est magnifique. She cooks breakfast for you in the morning stuff, dude. It's banging. It's totally worth the money that I spent on it back in the day. One of the best places I've ever went. Very serene and quiet and nice. We visited a winery, the old jail, Flagler College, which is an art college. We went and did a tour on it. It was awesome. Anastasia Island, thank you. All right. So I'll do one more, and then we'll cut this a little early so I can watch the rest of this North Carolina game, and then we'll do a Zoom after, all right? CRV is another example of an extreme lagger. All right, these are the ones I'm talking about that are enticing looking. They look good because there's a lot of gains. However, they're so far behind that they're likely going to underperform. Now, I could be wrong about that, and it could go way higher than I think. However, it's still stuck under the 236 down here. Now, I did put some more in this, but not a lot. And I did that just because I think the ceiling is higher than the floor here, so it's worth putting a little bit into, but not a lot. I'm not sure she makes it all the way up here to Sniper's Alley. I'm not sure it does that. In fact, I think it may get hung up at the 50 and the 382 pretty hardcore. We'll see. CRV's been a habitual disappointment from the day I've been buying it. That being said, come on, man, finish it off. Do something for me here. Make some magic, all right? Hasn't happened yet. ADA, and I think we'll finish it off with ADA, all right? ADA above the 382, but under the 50. These are tweeners. ADA, Feel, Mana, Digibyte, Zeal, all look the same. Above the 382, but under the 50. All right, above the 382, but under the 50. In range. We got to wait it out. So I like the fact that it's over 382. I'm willing to leave this one on. I do think it gets up to the golden pocket by the end of the year, which is about $1.16. So that was almost an hour. It was 50 minutes, but I'm going to go finish watching the rest of this Tar Heel game because I'm an emotional wreck right now. Thank you all for watching. I'll leave you with this. 3 things, all right? 3 things. Make the best of your todays the worst of your tomorrows. Please. Make the best of your todays the worst of your tomorrows. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. You'll never understand how much I appreciate that. That's awesome of you guys, and I thank you for it. And nobody else loves you. Keith loves you. See you guys on the next stream. Sky's the limit. Be good. I'm out. Peace.